and we're going to jump into Bitcoin chart. And something really, really interesting lately has been happening on the Bitcoin chart. So we've been getting, or kind of seeing this pattern develop, and that's the bump and run pattern that we've seen play out so well for Bitcoin repeatedly over and over and over throughout this bull market. I mean, we can see it literally over here, right? We get a down trend line. We get a drop below it, we break it, but then we've got to find support on top of it before going higher. This is a fantastic dip buying pattern or a reversal pattern for Bitcoin in a bull market and for other altcoins for that matter, right? So what we're seeing is we had our all-time high, just over 66K, right? We had our downtrend line get established. We broke above our downtrend line. We broke it. And we came back down and we found support on top of it. Now, the most recent point at which we found support on top of our downtrend line, I'm going to zoom in here so you can see that, was, I believe it was earlier this last night at some point. These are 4-hour candles. So, but ultimately, this touch of the trend line was the intersection of our trend line support at 59,400, as well as our 3x margin pressure level. I'm going to zoom out to the daily so you can see this support level. And I'm going to zoom out because this is a very, 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 very strong support level, 59,650. The reason it's a very strong support level in this bull market, in this uptrend, is that because as soon as price drops below $59,650, you can then go long on Bitcoin and hide your liquidation point below this $39,600 level, right? This local low. Why would you want to do that? Well, because you can almost treat it as buying spot Bitcoin because you don't have to worry about a liquidation in case unless things get really, really bad. You're not going to get liquidated if you have your liquidation point below $39,600 unless price drops all the way below $39,600. So as soon as price drops below $59,650, you can take a long-term position, bullish position, long position on Bitcoin, kind of set it and forget it on 3x leverage, amplify your capital by 3 times, and not have to worry about getting liquidated unless price drops well below 40K. Sounds like a pretty good deal given this current market circumstances. Now, could we see a washout to maybe 53K? Yeah, that's why Bill's talking about, maybe we just sit and relax for the next 4 days and see if we get that washout, right? But I'm just trying to explain why we're actually seeing support there and why we actually saw such a big candle off of this bump and run pattern, because it was at the point where we not only did we have our downtrend support, but we had buyers come in on 3x leverage and buy very aggressively here, right? And we've since kind of tried, I'm going to zoom into the hourly, tried on an even shorter time frame off of this big pump to create another bump and run situation, right? If we extend this out. But what happened is we actually, right, we tried to get the support on this level and go up, but we actually broke below it. We actually broke below it, and we're fighting right now to get back above it. So this is actually a really kind of a pivotal point for Bitcoin and a really interesting point for Bitcoin's price action here. We could realistically fall all the way back down, right? All the way back down to this trend line before testing for this bump and run again, right? A lot of bump and run patterns require 2, 3, 4, 5 tests of support on the top of this downtrend line before moving up high above it, right? So a washout all the way back down to either retest this 3x long level or this 2x long level of $58,500, which rests down here, is completely in the cards, right? So we're at 61K right now. If Bitcoin drops $3,000, right? If we drop all the way down here, this bump and run pattern is still in play, right? It's still in play. We still have not violated this trend line, right? And the support that we'd be looking for is in this major support zone, between 58 and 60K. On the way up, it was resistance, but now it's becoming support over and over and over again, right? Look at all the support here. Look at all the support here. We tested below it, found support on this dash line, the 2x long, right? Only to go up above and now test the 3x long, right? And we're finding support. So Bitcoin's continually dancing on this support level, trying to find where support is. To me, it's only a matter of time before Bitcoin kind of breaks upwards. Things are looking bullish. That being said, we need to be smart. If you're trading this, I'd personally want to have a stop loss somewhere in this range, because if we break below $57,000, $58,000 and start closing candles below there, I do think there's a possibility we catch at $56,000. But the real support, in my opinion, does not come in. Let me zoom out to the daily here. Get a hold of my chart. Right now, we're on a wider time frame. Right, the real support on the daily doesn't really come in until we see a washout all the way down to $52,000, $53,000. Right, we could catch a little bit of support in this range, maybe around $56,000. Get a bounce. But if we break this 58.5 level, maybe even drop below 58, 57.8, I'm just going to sit tight and wait for it to bounce here and collect some Bitcoin, collect some crypto down here at $53,000, reload, right? So if we drop into this big gap here, right, that's where you can just kind of sit out of the market, right? But right now, as long as we find support on some of these shorter time frame charts, I'm going to zoom back into the 4-hour chart again, and as long as we start finding support on this bump and run pattern, I'm pretty bullish, right? I'm pretty, or at least content to sit in crypto. One thing to keep in mind is we want to see a higher high out of Bitcoin. We want to see a higher high than 63K, right? That would be a bullish sign, because ultimately what we've seen is a case of, and I'm going to delete these just to redraw them, right? Since our all-time high, we've seen a high, right? A lower high, another lower high, and another lower high, right? But if we take it from the bottom here, we had our lower low, and now we've had a higher low, right? A higher low. So what do we want to see? We want to see this come up and make a higher high than 63K, a higher high than this right here. Then we have our reversal pattern of higher low and higher high. And then we're looking for a breakout well above 63K, probably targets up to as high as $79,000 if we break above 63K, and probably 64K, right? We want to make a higher high than this 63.7 as well. Real quick, I want to give a note on Ethereum before I turn it back over to Bill. You go to watchtheburn.com. This is just the net issuance of Ethereum, right? You can just watch how much Ethereum is getting burned because of EIP 1559. If you go to all time, it's now at 60.61%. We've walked through this. I talk about this every single week because it's such a big deal. Ethereum has essentially had a halving, more than a halving, right? The net issuance has dropped by 60% now, right? When Bitcoin's issuance drops by 50%, that's called a halving, and it causes a bull market for all crypto. Now we're seeing that happen with Ethereum, but it's 60%. If we go over the last month, it's 75%. If we go over the last 7 days, it's over 100%. Ethereum over the last 7 days has been deflationary. If we go for just today, it's 103%. And if you look over the last hour, it's 141%. Right now, over the last hour, Ethereum is deflationary. More Ethereum is being burned than is being issued through mining. And it's only going to get more deflationary as Ethereum transitions to proof of stake, or when Ethereum transitions to proof of stake. So if all of this technical analysis and all these altcoins just confuse you, you don't know what to do, you're anxious, you're nervous about a washout, you're worried about what's going to happen to your altcoins if we drop down to 53K, right? And you're worried about a bear market, worried about maybe even everything crashing. When in doubt, you can just buy spot ETH. Yes, if Bitcoin crashes to 53K, will Ethereum crash too? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But it won't crash nearly as hard, right? It won't crash nearly as hard as most altcoins will. And there's an argument to be made that Ethereum could actually hold up better than Bitcoin in the event of a crash this time around because of how much is being burned, right? The supply is getting restricted and it hasn't been priced in yet. Not to the degree of, right, 60% net reduction, and definitely not to the degree of the deflation that we're seeing this week and the deflation that we expect when we move to proof of stake. So when in doubt, you're not going to get an overnight 10x like you might in a meme coin, but if you want to live with that risk and play that game, then by all means go play the meme coin musical chairs, right? Or you could devote a lot of time to becoming a meme coin analyst, and maybe you could get an edge and make a lot of money. But if all of this is just confusing you, right? Just get in spot ETH, get long ETH, right? Don't even be leveraged, right? I like right now I'm building a 2x leverage Ethereum position because I don't think it's going to drop by more than 50%. If it drops by more than 50%, then I'll average my liquidation point down so I don't get liquidated. But you don't have to worry about getting leveraged or anything. You can just buy spot ETH and you'll probably get much, again, not financial advice here, you'll probably experience much higher than normal returns, much higher than average returns just by getting long on ETH. And your risk of drawdown will, in my opinion, be significantly lower, right? Because the upwards momentum on the price. Not to mention, guys, I believe OpenSea, don't quote me here, OpenSea has like 500,000 customers. Coinbase is launching an NFT platform and they have 2.5 million to 3 million users on the wait list. Right? When they launch their NFT platform and give access to NFTs to 2.5 to 3 million customers, by the time they launch it, maybe it'll be even more. What are these people going to have to buy NFTs? ETH. Have to buy ETH. Okay. So Ethereum to me is just I've been saying this for months now. It's the slam dunk. It's the layup. It's like the easy trade. It's not this exciting trade. It's not the thing that's will Ethereum 10x here before the end of the year? No, the Ethereum's not going to go to $43,000 by the end of the year, right? It's not going to $43,000 by the end of the year. So are you going to 10x your money? And are you going to have to watch a bunch of other people 10x their money in other potential altcoins? Yeah. But if you're looking for reasonable, right? Reasonable by crypto standards, absurd by other standards, traditional market standards, just reasonable returns by crypto standards, ETH is the layup trade. It's the layup trade. Everything is set for it to do extremely well. Now, I think other layer one solutions will do well as well. I think AVAX, I'm particularly bullish on AVAX, Algorand, Solana, right? You got Polkadot and Atom. Yeah, all those Phantom, they're all fantastic projects. They'll probably do well. Is the risk to reward ratio as good as Ethereum? In my opinion, risk's a little bit higher, right? Because they're less established, right? Ethereum has a ridiculous amount of TV. I could go on about Ethereum for days, but I think the risk to reward ratio for Ethereum just makes it the layup trade, the easy trade that, yes, there's always going to be risk in crypto, but it's not going to be, you're not going to be worried about a 95% drawdown like you might be in some of these altcoins. Yes, could there be a 50, 60% drop down? Absolutely, right? But the tokenomic, the on-chain analysis, everything looks so good for Ethereum that it just seems like the best risk to reward ratio trade that I'm seeing on the market right now. Right.
Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.